Welcome to the Fantasy Thinker. I'm Jared Quartermaster. Today, we're going to be doing a book review of The Forever War by Joe Haldeman. And I am involved in a read along with this book with the great people from pagechewing.com. Uh, and I'll put some links to their channels and stuff below and to the website. And so, this is the first book in a classic sci-fi series that we'll be doing a read along um, on that channel. And so I want to say this is like the classic sci-fi literature. It's like a military alien, you know, shoot 'em up kind of exploration of war. And so I finished this like last week or so. Um, and I gotta say, I wasn't that fond of this book, and it's not just because it's old and dated, and it's not just because I'm not quite a fan of the military space engagements that shoot down the aliens, uh, but mainly because I think the same ideas and messages that Haldeman put in this book could have been explained in about 100 less pages. This could have been an award-winning novella that made a powerful anti-war statement during the last days of Vietnam. But instead, the book kind of just felt like a slog. It's like, even at its minimal 265 page count, um, I just think you could have taken some of that out. Part of that is probably because of how old it is. It's published in '74, and the book had the feel like I've read it before, like I've seen it before, and I probably have. And the problem with that viewpoint on my part is that this book probably did it all first. um, or maybe you could say Heinlein did that in Starship Troopers, but there's a lot of stuff after this book that does the same thing that I'm probably referencing in my head because growing up, seeing movies and stuff like that, and that's unfortunate. I'm sure if I could have read some heavy fiction like this when I was 5 years old, I may have thought this book was the pinnacle of alien war story achievement. Instead, nearly 50 years later, I'm left with a ho hum kind of feel of a book that just failed to ignite my aged, jaded imagination. And that's absolutely on me, not the book's fault. Haldeman is a good writer who knows how to hit all the right beats and present an engaging point of view. The point of view is from Private Mandela, and um, he is a soldier who he tells a story, and he introduces us right away to the military setting and attitude and the closeness of the soldiers, and he has a slight sense of rebelliousness, and we're given that right away. um, and so Haldeman is, he's economic in his word choice because he's telling the story from a grunt's POV. And the only verbose parts in the book are the ones where he lays out fictional science figures and pseudoscience mumbo jumbo that, like technical sci fi nerds will probably go nuts for, um, which is all well and good, just not my thing. uh, Haldeman has a couple of heavy themes that he tackles in this book, too. Uh, most disturbing I found was the idea of military government interference in people's lives to the point where they can like control emotions and regulate daily lives. And this exploration swings from like dictatorial to altruistic, depending on the situation that Mandela finds himself in. Um, there's talk of government hypnosis and brain wipe and sexual reorientation and more. And at one point, Mandela, the narrator, he states that women in the service uh, are compliant and promiscuous by military custom and law. So that was a little bit disturbing, yeah. um, I mean, I guess you could chalk that up to the book being dated. But he also explores the theme in here of how intricately war is tied into the economy. That right there has not changed all that much over the years, and it is a theme that rings most true in this book today. Um, so, uh, you know, Haldeman also in here creates in his aliens a suitable other that humans, no matter how advanced civilization becomes, can take out their primal barbarity upon. So that that is kind of a little wrap up of what this book is about. It's not quite my my bag or whatever. But if you want a great example of how an endless war affects life and the economic interests of the whole human race, and if you like early pseudo sci-fi techno speak, then this book is for you. Um, so once again, this is a non-spoiler review, and I'm gonna this should be up just prior to us having a spoiler discussion with the excellent crew at pagechewing.com. Um, and I actually can't wait for that discussion. I want to talk about all this stuff. So if you see this, please tune into that after the fact. If you want to read the book, it's a pretty quick read. You can get through it in a day or two. Um, if you're an astute reader, then then you may enjoy this book. So go ahead and just because it wasn't my thing quite doesn't mean it can't be yours. All right, and with that said, be good to each other. Thank you.